What's up, guys? Welcome to another JP League podcast. We have the playoff edition where we have pretty much someone from each team coming here. Unfortunately, we couldn't get somebody from Double Z, but they're the number one seed, so they don't need this. They're too good for this. Exactly. But thank you guys for joining. It's good to be here. Everyone's also kind of new to the podcast. I think, John's always been recording, but everyone else here is new. So that's also really nice. Tony, man, what's up, man? Have you watched the podcast at all?
Watched the podcast.
Okay.
Nice. I like that we have it.
All right.
Keeps it spicy.
Keeps it spicy. All right, man. Let everyone know what team are you on and how's the season going?
Yeah, so I play with Murray Cheaters, and I think we're better than what it appears on the stat sheets. Much better.
So what's your record?
It's playoff season.
It's playoff season. Right.
Don't worry about the playoffs.
Fresh slate, right?
Fresh slate.
Okay, awesome. Good to have you. John, let us know about your team and how's it going this season?
I captain JP Lockdown. We're I think the 2 seed right now. Had some losses, but most of them without Sean so far. So we'll see how the playoffs go.
Awesome. We have another captain, Louis, joining us today.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Captain Team 808s. We're middle of the pack. Got caught up in the tiebreaker and the head-to-head stuff, but I think matchup-wise, road to the playoffs fits us nicely.
Sounds good.
My team is Evan's team. It's Shay's Famous Food, and it wasn't starting well, but then later on, we started finding out rhythm, so we started getting know how to play the games, and we have been winning like 2 in a row. Yeah, so looking forward to play on the playoffs. My team try to win the chip.
Dope. Brandon, how you doing?
What's going on? I'm on the Showstoppers Kenny's team. Showstoppers Kenny's team, and we started the season 4-0, I believe, but we ended on a losing streak. But I think in those 3 losses we got a combined 9. It's like combined by 9 points. So we've been in every game. So I'm pretty confident about the playoffs.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Alright. So I guess it's my turn. My name is Peng, and I play on LIC for kids who can't read. And we're doing fine. We made the playoffs, so we have a chance.
All right.
That's good.
Good energy so far. Playoff energy. I love that everyone here. We have a lot of experienced players from last season. We also have some new guys. You two are new to this. You're new to the building. You were living here, but you just didn't play last season, right?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts so far of this league? Just want to hear your experience.
I mean, it's a great league. When I came to watch last season, I saw a few games, and I automatically was like, oh, this is good. I'm definitely gonna play next season. So, I had to squeeze it around my schedule, but I've been able to play every game this year or this season. So, and it's been high quality. I like the refs. We had one issue with the court was slippery, but besides that, I really can't complain about anything. It's been a good season.
Cool.
Looking forward for the playoffs. Yeah.
Dope.
For me, I just started playing pickup games, and I heard there's like games going on here. There's like a league going on here. So then I think I watched the final games. It was very intense. So then I decided to join. And then I like how it works. Like the first time I played in the league, like have like people draft. Whatever you want, because like before you just like pick up your own team, but that's sometimes like too overpowered, it'll be unfair. So now it's like all the teams even up, and it's like pretty competitive. So yeah, so I like how it works. So it's pretty like I think it was so far I really enjoyed playing.
Dope. No, I'm glad you guys both joined. Y'all like just added in another level of competition. I feel like this season was a little bit more competitive than last season. So I think both of you guys adding on to that is definitely helped. Peng, as a player from last season, do you notice any differences? How do you like your team compared to this season versus last season? Any thoughts there?
Oh yeah, I like I like both teams a lot. What I realized is that the competition for this season is a little bit more intense than last season. I think there's a lot of credit goes to the league and Steve yourself because with the basketball community building up so fast, a lot of outsiders would like to move to JP and join the league. So I think the league's gonna get stronger and stronger and better. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
Glad to hear. I'm happy to try to improve, but it's good to hear that you're enjoying it. Louis, any you're a returning player. Last season you were I believe the second pick, and this season you're a captain. So you have a lot of influence on teams. Have you noticed any big differences from this season compared to last season? What do you think of your teams from both seasons, and maybe any improvements or anything that maybe this still needs to be worked on?
Well, okay, that's a lot to unpack. That's a lot.
This is a Louis interview, so
that's a lot of things. Okay, let's start with the first one.
Yeah.
Comparison this season to last season, I think I agree with what Peng and Brandon were talking about. The league more competitive. I think the player pool grew, right? I think you had to cut off amount of people who were applying to want to play, and we also had some key guys who didn't play this year that would have definitely made the league even more competitive, right? You talk about like Chris or Will or guys who were they're all first round picks last year, right?
Yeah.
Aren't playing. So also speaks to what's going to happen next season when everyone comes in, right, to play. I mean, league's going to only get more competitive. I think comparing my team this season versus last season, I think being captain, kind of picking and drafting the team that you want to kind of play around, and the playing style, you have a little bit more say than last season. And I think also, last season, first time playing, everything else, you're still working out the kinks of, rules, how individuals play, and how we play in pickup or how other people play. Kind of changes right when you start to play in a league, right? You got refs, you got a little bit more structure, the intensity and things start to really pick up. So I think that's also a big change for some players, right? If you haven't played in an organized, perspective or league before, and then jumping in and playing, there's a ton of different considerations that you would have to take. And then looking at the team last year, if you look at our team last year, I mean, Tony was on our team, we had Sean, myself, Jake, we had a good team. We actually, we fizzled out in the playoffs. We probably, underachieved to what our team was, but
I think we had so much talent on that team that we kind of just treated it as pickleball because we thought we were going to do well.
Yeah.
And then some of the other teams were just well more organized and prepared during the playoff and whatnot.
Yeah, we really didn't have many plays, right?
Yeah.
Telling you when we were looking at it, and then when we played against Steve or we played against Ethan's team, they were running a 1-3-1.
They've been trying so hard.
No, but they were also running pick and roll, they were running pin downs and all types of secondary actions, and we were kind of just we're gonna pass.
Fee shot. You don't know what to do. Fee shot.
So that's what I was saying. There's a difference, right? We, maybe everyone on the team and stuff we just didn't really take it maybe as serious as teams are taking it now. So it's a good thing, right? The league's evolving, players and teams are evolving. So I'm excited about it.
Dope.
Really long-winded answer because your question. Hopefully I answered all the stuff you said.
Pretty much wraps it up well.
Okay.
Thank you. John, as an experienced returning player, captain this season, give us some of your thoughts on the league and your teams.
I think last season I was just trying to see what JP League was about. I was honestly, I moved into this apartment and now we have a league. It's kind of crazy, but I didn't know what to expect. And I got injured during the playoffs last season, before a game, so I actually never got to play during the playoffs. I was on the same team with Peng and some other guys. And,
Dynasty, right?
it's just one of those what ifs, It's one of those what ifs where you're I think we could have done a lot better if I was there for sure. Yeah, I got injured in Dynasty. Right before my JP League.
Yeah.
I was diving on the fucking floor, going all out. And, I don't know, just rolled me.
Very John-like.
Yeah.
I've scaled back on the amount of dives in the ground.
Yeah.
This season.
Longevity.
Yeah. And I decided to be a captain just because might as well get the experience once. And it's been fun so far. It was fun drafting and sculpting the team that I thought could happen. And, I will say of all the basketball teams I played on in New York, like this is one of the most fun ones just because of how like connected you are together all the time and with everything going on. Like the group chat's always going crazy. And, like,
Yeah.
people really like actually like talking about the game and the stats and the videos and the podcasts. Like, yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah, I'll see like everybody at the gym here, and then we'll always talk about like, the league, like, oh, like how's the game, and like, oh, this happened, and we lost because of this, or we won because of that, you know. So yeah, I definitely feel like that type of connection. I think it's part of the community that everyone brings to the table, right? Like everyone just showing up to like, you know, pick up runs on weeknights and weekends and stuff, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tony, last but not least, just want to get your, I don't know if I asked you this, but yeah, your thoughts on, you know, the season. Yeah.
I think kind of like on the same page as John. I think like last year or last season, it was just kind of like, oh, we got a league. Let's try this out. Let's have fun. Let's see how it's about. You know, there were some people that knew how to play organized ball, some people that didn't. And then this year, I feel like, or this season, I feel like it's definitely way more competitive. I think everyone's comfortable now, so they're playing like the best game. There's like some more talent out there too. But yeah, it's been competitive. I think it's growing. I don't know. Maybe next season will be more competitive.
Yeah.
There's also like way more scouting this season. Like everybody knows each other's weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah.
And then people be playing against them and matching up way more. Like it's like that only exists when you literally know everyone on the other team and you can like actually play game plans. Like
It's true.
you can tell.
Very good point.
It's fair though, you know. Everybody is subject to the same, you know, same circumstances. We all live together. We all watch each other. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty realistic as far as, and it's fair, like I said. It's not like somebody's coming from some guy you don't know, just coming from nowhere.
Right.
He just, you know, jumps out the gym and just shoots lights out. You're like, who's this guy? So it's, I can say like on our team, I can respect every other team that we play against. There's not a single team from top to bottom where I'm like, okay, like, you know, even if you think you're gonna win, you're not gonna, you know, you can lose to every team.
Right.
So
That's why I feel like this season, like every game is winnable. Like despite what the records say right now, like every team, I feel like when they go against like any other team, it's always like winnable. There's like some runs I saw like where games get like it's like pretty much within 2 possessions and all the way to the like last 2 minutes of a game, and then maybe they'll break away. But like throughout the game, there's definitely points where like every team can win, which is nice. And going straight to kind of playoff matchup, right? So we got the first seed and the 8th seed. First seed's Double Z, and then the 8th seed's Murray's Cheesers. And Tony, you're on Murray's Cheesers. You know, you're going in against the first seed, Double Z. They had 1 loss this season. I forgot against who. Oh, 808s. Okay, 808s. You know, what are your thoughts on the matchup? How are we feeling? Feeling confident?
Yeah, I think the second seed is going to be John's team, right? Yeah. So I think we prefer playing Double Z more than Showstoppers.
Lockdown.
Sorry.
Wow.
Putting me on the locker room in the locker room.
Wow. Yeah.
Why's that?
Because they got lockdown, man. The defense, like that was what was giving us like the most trouble with like the double team, the press, like the half court press, like at the half court. Yeah. So I think with against Double Z, we have a better chance. I think for them, they kind of play it more similar to pickup ball. So we kind of have to attack that weakness. You know, they like to play a lot of man, so we just got to figure out how to
Take advantage of that.
take advantage of that.
What was the regular season matchup results?
I think we lost by. It was a game where we were either tie or up at the half. And then this was a game where we had I think 5 or 6 guys. We had Jack, who
got hurt that game.
Who
Right?
got hurt? He dislocated a shoulder, I think, and that's when it started going downhill because we kind of needed him. He's like almost our second biggest guy.
Yeah.
And I think our team's like biggest downfall like this season was just injuries. I think Rob was out after like the second game. And Jack was out. Sam's been out for a couple weeks. So
What's going on?
yeah.
So there's a different matchup this time though, because you got like a different you got a mid-season pickup in a way that.
Yeah, but I don't know. might have those players back.
I saw you guys. The new guy you guys picked up was pretty good.
Oh yeah, Jay's great. He's cause he can handle the ball. He's big, so he could drive. He could drive and then like dish it out. He could attack the paint. Jay's definitely a big part to us doing well right now. For sure.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to your matchup. JP Lockdown Captain, you guys are up against Peng's team, LIC. So you guys are head to head. What was the regular season like? Do you remember the game?
I don't remember when we matched up.
I
I don't even remember playing against you, Peng. Were you there?
I don't think
wasn't
you were
there.
I don't think
Yeah.
you were there.
I wasn't there. Yeah.
So.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there
I
either.
was in Korea. That's why I was like, I can't think of when this was going on.
I think I watched clips of it.
I
Yeah.
believe
I wasn't
John's
at the
team
game.
won. You guys
Yeah.
won.
Yeah, we
Okay.
won.
You won.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
still
much to
surprised by
say.
Josh's absence this season. You know, I don't know if it's the amount of losses that he had, but something clearly broke him out there. But
You guys
we
lost.
wish him the best. But
Yeah.
I gotta say something.
they have won the past few games.
That's what I
and
was gonna say.
they've been
Yeah.
giving a lot of effort, and you know you can't take that lightly. Like, you know, it's like a team that has nothing to lose in a way that you know they might as well play as hard as they can. And honestly, effort goes a long way. I've seen it happen. Like we played a game where we just didn't even like mentally try at all, and we got our asses kicked. You know, like you have to play every game. You know,
Every game's winnable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. So.
Goes back to that point. You know, going back to John's point about Peng's team, they're winning a lot lately. They've lost Josh, and they started winning. Not saying that you know Josh is the reason they're losing, but they're playing even better. Like I think they're figuring stuff out. Maybe their roles. Peng's been on a little heat streak, catching some threes. Jared's been playing really well. So yeah, it should be still a really interesting matchup. I think is Sean playing?
It's like a game time decision.
Game time decision. So you know
Smart
that's a
answer.
big player. Yeah. So yeah, that should still be a really good matchup.
How about Josh? Is he playing?
Nah, he's out for
He's
the
out.
season.
Oh, shit.
He's on
Never know,
Discord.
never know.
Yeah.
You guys might say something to take him out. He'll be back.
I'll send him this podcast right after. All right. Louis, how you guys are up against Draco, right?
Yeah.
Jeff didn't show up today. Thanks, Jeff, by the way. Like last minute, we scheduled this to 7 for you, but anyway, they can't say anything in return. So what are you gonna say to them? What do you think? You guys beat them in the regular season, right?
Yeah, we played them week 1. I think it was similar to like what John's case was. You know, Jay wasn't there week 1, so it's kind of a outlier if you look at it. I mean, Jay's an MVP type player for the league in terms of his contributions and what he brings to that team. That team is significantly different, right? When Jay's at the helm with the ball in his hands versus when he's not. So the matchup itself, any team is dangerous, and you start to underestimate or think you got something in the bag, like it most of the time comes back to bite you in the ass. So
yeah, from what I remember, that what like you said, without Jay, that team looked like really bad. Like it was the first game of the season. I feel like they were still filling each other out, so it's really like it's not fair to really give them that full because they have been playing. They've been winning games. After that first game, our first podcast was saying they were the worst team in the league. After that, they won like 3 or 4 games throughout the regular season and climbed all the way up to I think they're like 6, but we were in a 3-way tie, so like it bumped them down to 6, even though they could have been like third, fourth, or fifth or something.
They're fifth.
Oh, they're fifth.
Yeah.
Sorry, it could have been third, fourth, or fifth.
Yeah.
Right. So there was a 3-way tie there. So they're pretty much like around the 3rd seed, and like you said, standings don't really matter because every team can win. So yeah, they were counted out in the beginning of the season. Now they climbed back, and it should be like a banger, 4th, 5th seed, like going at it. So definitely excited to see that. Lou, man, what's up, man? Your team was crazy because like in the beginning of the season, it was like you guys were like, yo, this team is stacked on paper. Like, yo, this team's like number 1, And then I remember like the first episode, we're like, yo, I think they're good on paper, but like personality, can they work together? Is the chemistry there? And then it kind of showed in the first few games, but towards your last couple games, it seems like you guys figured something out. You guys could kind of on that like winning streak type, and yeah, you guys are looking good entering the playoffs.
Yeah, I think at first it was just like, I don't know, everybody was trying to score, so it was kind of like being selfish. And obviously the first game, shooter like Z and like Carl, he wasn't having a lot of ball. Most of the time, I think I take most of the majority of the shot, and Andrew, and he wasn't making the shot, and that's how we lost the first game. And later on, we started figuring things out. It was like either passing to the shooters, obviously use the shooter and use the Andrew. And I think after the first game, Andrew was missing for 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when we don't have a big guy, and that's like I think Andrew is very important for our team.
Yeah.
Because we need him to be inside. Because when we have an Andrew inside, we can pass the ball out. So to the shooter, Carl and Z. So then when we have Andrew back, I think the first game we tried to work with Andrew, and right after that game we started winning. That's when we I started finding my plays in the game. Because I don't know, I feel like it's different than playing pickup and the formal game. With the pickup I can just do one-on-one stuff. But when you do an actual game, that doesn't work, So then I started finding my role, and each member of the team finding their role in the team, and that's how we started getting better and better. So,
like you mentioned, like pickup versus an organized game. I think going into our league game, people know how you play, so the team defense will kind of adjust for that, make those adjustments in the game. So they know you're going to try to blow by your first guy. The help defense is always there, so it makes it a lot more difficult. So yeah, it is different than pickup, because sometimes in pickup, the help defense isn't always there. Your teammates aren't really got your back as much. But yeah, no, I definitely see the difference there, and then the huge improvement throughout the season. You guys are on a winning stride. So you guys are up against the showstoppers, who are currently on a losing streak. So we've had our peak. We're kind of on a slump. So while you're at your high and they're at their low, this could be a really good matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I just right before we came here, I was just watching you guys play against Scout's team. Yeah, I think you guys are very good passing, and I think the decision to win tomorrow is who played better defense. I think
better defense.
Yeah.
Wow, I agree. Well said. Brandon, going to you, because you're the opponent. You're my teammate. We're the opponents, and he's in the middle, so we could gang up on him.
Right? We can't win this one. But no, I agree with his last statement. I think it's going to come down to defense. Andrew didn't play the first game. We played them,
That's right.
So it's kind of completely different. So I'm not even really considering that. And I'm kind of ready to do less offensively and more rebounds and just defensively in the paint. So it's gonna be a battle, and hopefully our scores. I think we have enough scores that'll pick up the pace and the slack. Between Kenny, Sen, and Joan. Joan's back. We didn't really have Joan for the last 2 games, so that was a few points we missed. So I think if he's able to come back smoothly, and Kenny and Sen keep up what they're doing between me and Jacob and you in the post, and just our ball movement, passing, we just got to wear them down over the 40 minutes. So
All right, I like it.
Who's the biggest threat on their team?
On their team?
Yeah, who's the biggest threat on their team?
Carl. Yeah.
No, Tall Z is the biggest threat.
Z's
Tall
the
Z.
biggest
Live and die by the 3.
Oh.
He's my favorite player in the league. I don't know if everyone knows. He just all he does is stand by the 3-point
Yeah.
threes.
he shot 0 2 points. All he does 3 points.
Oh, right.
Everybody knows his move. When you pass to him, if it's inside the paint, he just pass it out. He's not even gonna dribble, take a shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
He knows his role. Yeah.
But even that's still hard to guard, because every time you get the ball, because he shoots not low, he's still high.
Very fast
So it's hard,
release.
hard
Yeah.
release.
And especially when you guys using both Carl and Andrew with a staggered or double downs, that killed us last game.
Yeah, they're huge.
Well, yeah. I mean, you try to get around either Carl or Andrew, and then the second person knocks you out, and
Right.
he gets a wide three. And if you look at the tape, you'll see, myself, Mo, or whoever, we're trying to go around the first screen. We get clipped on the second one. Those are 2 really big bodies you got to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, that's what I have him do a lot. Try to get Andrew the ball inside first, and then when he see people get crowded inside, he just pass it outside. So we got shooters,
Yep.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of reaching in the paint, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can.
Off
already-
balls.
I got 5 fouls to waste, so
All right.
that's how I'm coming.
We're gonna do something different now. we're gonna, I don't know if you guys ever played. Have you ever played 7-Up where your heads are down like this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just see which team will win, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna do a little vote, and I will. You guys just kind of. I'll go for the matchups, and then we'll have like our hands raised up for like, all right, like who's gonna win?
So you
All
want
right.
us to put our heads down on the
Well,
floor now?
you guys just close your eyes. Basically, you can do this, and then you could like like raise your hand when I ask for your vote. All right. So everyone just cover their eyes with their hands right now. All right. So we're gonna go
So you're
down.
not gonna announce who
You're not
won?
gonna announce.
I'm not gonna announce.
Okay.
I'm not gonna announce. I'm just gonna give my reaction and then just show the camera. All right. So first matchup for Double Z versus Murray's Cheesers. Raise your hand if you think Double Z is gonna win. All right. Hands down. Raise your hand if you think Murray's Cheesers is gonna win. Nice and high, everybody. Wow, beautiful. Ooh. All right. Awesome. All right. Moving on. That was crazy. All right. All right. So the next matchup, JP Lockdown versus LIC School for Kids Who Can't Read Good. All right. Raise your hand if you think JP Lockdown is gonna win. Raise them nice and high. Not too many, I see. Not too many for JP Lockdown. All right. So then LIC School for Kids Who Can't Read Good. Yeah, that's more like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Cool. All right. All right. Hands down, everybody. Hands down. All right. So many hands up for that one. All right. JP Showstoppers for Shay's Famous Foods. Who has JP Showstoppers winning? Raise your hand. Nice and high. Wow, that's a lot. All right. And then put your hands down and Shay's Famous Foods. Raise them nice and high. Lou, you're supposed to vote for your own team, Lou. All right. Hands down. All right. Awesome. And then 808s, last matchup, 808s versus Draco. Who has 808s winning it?
This is
Okay. Versus Draco. Okay. Hands down. Who has Draco winning? Wow. Okay. Hands down, everybody. All right, guys.
All right.
We can all resume. Thank you for voting. It was very interesting to see everyone's votes. We'll see it in the podcast recording.
Great.
So it'll be fun to watch. Honestly, it was like very 50-50 for every team. I was just fucking around,
I figured.
That's really interesting. We shall see tomorrow. And then kind of stepping away from playoffs and just going back to the I guess even like let's talk about like non-league stuff. There's so many players in this league, right? And I'm pretty sure each one of you guys have either played with or against, everybody here, if maybe like 90%, right? Who do you guys think? And it doesn't have to be. Let's try to focus on players that are not on your team. Okay. Like, who do you enjoy playing with, like as a teammate? And then, maybe give a reason why. Just think about that real quick.
one person.
Yeah, maybe you could be like one or two people. Like you say, like, oh, maybe next season if I were captain, I would want to play with this person, and here's why. Tony, you have any thoughts?
I think I would want to play with either you.
Me.
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Or Ethan. I was just happy you guys are commissioners. But I think it's because you guys are very organized and you guys are kind of like glue players too for the team. So you can mold with any team and you also try to get everyone involved. So like I that's kind of how I like to play. And then Ethan just fucking hustles.
Yes.
This guy gets like 5 offensive rebounds in one play. So that'd be great.
He never gets tired.
Yeah. I will also want to play with Jay. I think he's nasty as a point guard. Like pure point guard. Yeah, he's really smart. Can handle it. Yeah, there's a couple guys off the top of my head.
Cool. What about you, John? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'd have to say Jay as well. I mean, we are roommates and we pretty much live with each other and just talk basketball almost every day, whether it be Dynasty, JP League, the NBA, like whatever it is. But we've never obviously been able to play in the same JP team, and because of the way we play in regards, like the likelihood is pretty low that might ever happen. So, but if there is a scenario ever existed, I would love to play JP with him. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I guess next season, I think some of us know Rich Kim, but he's moving in. So, I mean, I think playing with him would be nasty at JP. Like, we've had some conversations there. Yeah, those are my top two.
It would be cool. It would be nice to see Rich in the league and see what he. I mean, we all know what he can do, but it'll be definitely interesting seeing him as a player in the league. Cool. Louis, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try and go. There's a few people that Tony and John have mentioned that I think are up there for me. So let me maybe choose a few people who aren't. I think one actually would be John.
Let's go.
He does all the things, right? And John doesn't complain about his role or whatever. He just wants to play, compete, hustle, and he's a smart player, right? So, John would be up there. I would say Taylor as well. I know when he watches this, he's gonna give me a lot of grief. I had the opportunity to draft him, but like the more I play with him and everything else, Taylor's game, what he does, like setting screens, some of the off-ball stuff, really is really important for, I guess, my game or how like I like to see basketball teams run, because it just flows and just like really is real high IQ stuff. So those would be like my two.
Awesome.
I'll say Sean, because he's tall and and I watch him play. He's like a smart player. He hustle, run back and forth, and yeah. And another one, I'll say Jamie. Just I don't know, because he play aggressive. And also I hate to play against him, because like he's like he's just getting on your nerves. Like sometimes when you get mad, you don't do your plays. So I mean, yeah. So I think I like him the most is his aggressiveness. Yeah, and yeah, that's the top two for me.
Awesome.
I would say I actually like playing with Will. I know he's not in the league, but I like playing with Will. Sometimes I like to just give him the ball, let him do it. He's always going to make a move, get to the rim, or he does look for the pass. So I know he didn't play this season, but yeah, next year if he's in it. And who else? I would probably say Sean too, just because reliable person to get to the ball, get the ball to, and he's going to get you rebounds. So I feel like if I was with Sean, we'd do really good on the boards and defensively because he can go up. I like to challenge a lot of shots too, and reach in. So I think we would harass a lot of offensive players. Also on defense, yeah.
Sounds good. Peng, what do you think?
Ocean.
Yeah.
The crowd favorite.
I love Ocean.
Ocean. He's very underrated. Yeah.
I agree.
But all seriousness, I think every single season we have like people that we like to play with. First season, I had John X and John B, along with friends. You don't really realize the intensity of the defense until you're not with them anymore. I don't have to do much on defense. I can save my legs for my shots. I think next season comes, I'm gonna miss Taylor and the boys and the leadership that he brings to the team and all the dirty work that he does. But yeah, people that I haven't played with, you guys basically mentioned it all. Steve, Jay, Jamie, Sean, all the big guys, smart guys, good guys, and Ocean.
All right, that could work. That can happen. We make something happen. Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. It's just good to hear like perspective and like other people's thoughts on other players throughout the season. So even if they just live at JP, don't have to be in the league. Maybe someone who's playing next season or they played last season. So
how about you, Steve?
Me? Who do I like playing with? Man, I like playing with Sean. I like playing with Sean too.
I don't think I've ever played with Sean on this team. I'm always guarding him.
Oh, really?
Always.
So you know what it's like to have him because you're guarding him all the time. All right. Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of mentioned he does everything. He could shoot it. He can move. He's tall. He's lanky. Play defense. Play smart. Reliable. You know, all the above.
Yeah.
So if I were to pick one person, I would definitely pick.
That's why he's the first pick.
Yeah, that's why he's probably the first pick. Yeah, yeah. So
I mean, it wasn't a no-brainer for you.
no-brainer. Yeah.
You think I'll go first again?
We got some new blood next season, so we have to see who the final pool of players is. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, he could definitely go first again.
Didn't Sean say he wanted to be a captain?
Yeah, so that's a great segue going into captains. You know, we have 8 new captains this season. I think next season, I don't think we're gonna do 8 completely new captains. I guess like you know, we could go around the. I mean, you guys don't have to answer this, but like, would you want to be a captain? And like, if yes, like you know, and or no, like why?
So it's kind of 50-50 for me right now. I feel like if I just want to be a captain to draft my own team.
Yeah.
I think, but it's also like a lot of responsibility. Like you know, I feel like if I don't like organize it and like set up practice and stuff like that, then it's gonna be on me. And then I don't want to, you know, that's a lot of responsibility.
There's a balance. There's a very fair reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
I think these guys know there is a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of back and forth in our captain's chat, so it's tough. And you know, John being the captain of you know another team, and Louis having captain experience in the past, you know, it's a lot of work. What about you? Would you like to be a captain?
I mean, obviously, you always want to pick your own dream team, you know.
Yeah.
So, but then, like what Tony says, it's all responsibility.
Yeah.
To it. So, for me, I would say 50-50.
50-50. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's hard to decide, right?
Yeah.
Brandon, what do you think?
I would be a captain, but I would probably pick just the best team. I wouldn't even fit it around me. I would just all right, what's the best team? Like if I was coming off the bench, like that would be fine. If I could build a team that good, you know,
Yeah.
just like
On paper, you want the best players
Right.
possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And because I think even in this draft, there were some players that went in later rounds that you know a better team could have been produced than possibly than what we've seen this team this season. So you know it's kind of like the my career, my story on so, why not? So yeah,
Okay.
I would like to.
Cool. What about you, Peng?
Do I want to be a captain? I
Yeah.
guess everybody wants to build their own team
Right.
because they all know who's players are fitting for themselves, and the best way for the team to win. But can I be a captain? I don't think so because of the commitment and the responsibility is too much for me right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I think as like league getting more competitive, there's gonna be maybe those 6 player can be a starter, but as a captain you have to pick who is gonna be a starter. And let's say the other one say oh, why don't I be a starter? That's always been a conflict, and the captain have to handle all those things. It's gonna be more responsibility. That's gonna be hard.
That's why I would try to pick 5 people better than me, so I can become me on the draft. You guys are good. I'll just come off the bench.
Totally agree. I think we've already seen that with some teams already that in the past and maybe this season there's already been issues like that, and it's the captain's job to kind of help resolve them within the team and try to do what's best for the team. But yeah, it's a difficult position to be in sometimes, but it's also very rewarding, like you guys said. So you get to make your own team.
Fantastic.
What? Wait. Actually, I have a question. What? So who is the captain of your team? What's going on?
Jared.
Jared's a
Captain, I don't
captain.
understand. We just got a mid-season change and no explanation. What's the situation?
I think it was Taylor's co-captain.
Yeah,
Taylor's
I
the
think,
co-captain.
It seemed like he took over the entire
I think
captaincy.
from the moment Taylor was drafted, Taylor became the captain. I think. Yeah. But you guys know Jared. His
Yeah,
just
personalities
didn't wanna
are
do it,
whatever.
basically.
They work off each other.
Why did he sign up to begin with, though? Is what I'm saying.
He wanted to do
Right.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
he wanted to
just
be-
wanted to
It's like
Yeah.
the film
You
of
wanna
the
be
draft.
GM.
It's
Yeah.
not the responsibilities.
That would be funny if we had 3 roles on a team.
Yeah.
GM.
God is a GM,
a coach,
God is a
and
coach.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That's another element we're thinking about bringing on. We tried to kind of bring that on this season, but it wasn't fully like ironed out, so there's a lot of gray areas. And then
What about like a keeper league? You keep certain guys if you on the same team.
So maybe like the championship team is rewarded by keeping, or would they get too powerful and it'd be too hard to knock them off? What do you think?
It could be a double-edged sword, especially if there's new blood coming in, right?
Right. Some thoughts were like similar to like how some fantasy football or basketball leagues are run, or like a dynasty player. They're basically kept from the season before at a certain round pick. For example, if I picked like Louis in my second round, I can opt out of my second round draft pick for next season and just keep Louis at the second, like as my second pick, something like that. That was one idea that was tossed around that might be explored into. We might do that because it is nice to have at least like one or two guys that you have been playing with a season or two and like just been working so hard to get this chemistry, right? You guys are practicing all the time, whatever, and you guys are getting good together, but then like, all right, let's hit that reset button, like here's all these new teams and all these new players, let's start from zero again, right? So yeah, that's definitely an idea we're looking into and definitely something we're working on and hoping to get something like that out for next season, which is probably the end of January, But yeah, no, that was all really good, thoughts, flowing around. That's what this conversation's for, so.
How about this, like, this is the new, more players coming, it's still going to be 8 teams, or it's always going to be 8 teams?
So that's also something, I think depending on interest, right? Like if we're getting like 100 players compared to like, right now we have around like 70 to 80.
Yeah.
If we get like 100, we might have to extend the season. We might have to do like 2 separate days, right?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays type situation. And then, we would have to kind of,
So like 200 per person.
Right.
We don't have to increase the fees or anything, but just whatever the logistics comes out to, that's just what the price is. It's not a money-making league, it's just for everyone to build a community. So, I mean, that is something, that's a good question, and definitely depends on the interest. So, we do want to make it competitive, but also, make sure everyone gets enough burn. So we don't want to like have too many people on one team. But it's tough because injuries happen as well. Like we had like people sub in because they had injuries, and then time commitment. People are on vacation or like they have just other commitments. It's make a commitment to it. So sometimes getting 5 is hard. But it's a very hard thing to balance, but definitely something we're working on. Oh man, there's another question I wanted to ask.
Captains?
No, it's not about captains. Shit. All right, well, we have All-Star Week. All right, I think it was about All-Star. So we have All-Star teams, and going to be sent out a poll this week. We're going to be putting together like a 8-on-8 game, and then we're going to have a 3-point shooting contest. Anyone can enter. It doesn't have to be like the best 3-point shooters. So the winner would get like, certain prize. We'll probably get like a T-shirt, maybe like a cash prize, and then the rest of the money like will all go to Kevin Diaz's sister, or his GoFundMe page. So we'll organize something. So hopefully you guys could all join in.
If it's just for people in the league?
I think anyone who wants to join, we'll have the money ball, like NBA setup, like 1 minute, like 5 spots, like 5 shots. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys should start practicing that. It's a different format than just like spot up shooting, because like you have to grab the ball and then like run to each spot and like and then a minute to shoot like 25 threes is like you literally have to shoot like every other second. So it's not like
have to adjust.
Is a minute like the official one?
I gotta double check. I didn't make the rules yet.
I feel like we gotta up it a little.
Up it a little bit. I mean, that's part of the challenge, though. If you're the best in a minute,
What are the betting odds for the guy that's gonna win that?
The betting odds.
Who
we have to see who enters first. I'm gonna send it out
Who's
this
the
week.
best
Might be Peng.
Peng the best
No?
shooter?
No. Pretty good shooter.
Pretty good shooter.
Will can shoot lights out. Will Chew.
Yeah.
No, grab the ball off the
Z.
rack.
It's open to anyone.
It's open to anybody.
Anyone else.
Oh, Z.
I'll say
Z.
Carl.
Carl. It's different formats too. Like
I think Carl shoots a little slow. It'll take him a while to get all those shots up.
Yeah.
Stop him arms for one day.
This is something about next game.
Yeah.
This is something about next game.
All right. Yeah, so that's in the books. That's in the works. So
That's after season.
that's gonna be after the championship game. Yep, and that's gonna be like officiated as well.
Wait,
All-Star
same day
game.
after the championship?
No,
game?
no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay,
It's
okay.
gonna be like a separate day. It's gonna be like a for-fun day, and then we're gonna have like a probably like a dinner or something with the whole league, or like I'll have like a catering event or something we'll rent out. There'll be more details for that later, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up. And then yeah, just a little sneak preview for the next season. Cool. Is there anything else you guys want to share, discuss? No.
No, I'm pretty good. At least we're gonna go over like MVP and defense and all the award picks.
Oh yeah, so MVP, we do have the polls that'll also be sent out with the All-Star. So Defense Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year is another award. There's some other awards as well. It'll all be in the form. So we're gonna actually do stuff. We're gonna have like a award and stuff handed out, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Damn, we got the ESPYs too. Shit.
Right.
Yeah. So award ceremony and everything.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. It's been a pleasure to have everyone here, and good luck tomorrow. And then we'll see who moves on to the next round.
Yeah.
Oh, you ready, John?
Careful.
You alright?
All right, I'm cutting this. I'm cutting.
All right.
Good.
Got 5 seconds left of the game.
Oh wow.
Really?
Perfect timing.